High on the Greenland ice cap, a field researcher notices something disturbing.
The changes that I saw unfolding were much too large. There was something else at work there.
Florida, 2005. A beach mysteriously fills with dead creatures.
It sounds impossible, yet the scriptures clearly prophesy that everything in the sea will die.
Indonesia, 2004. A massive undersea earthquake triggers a catastrophic tsunami, and experts brace for even worse.
A massive global earthquake unlike anything in human history.
2008. Researchers prepare for a deadly worldwide pandemic.
I'm extremely concerned about these things. I'm on the front line. I have a family.
Are these the signs foretold in the Bible?
Bible prophecy is really advanced intelligence from the mind of an all-knowing, all-seeing God.
Are we approaching our own end?
There will be chaos. Definitely be chaos.
Is it possible that we are now experiencing the 7 signs of the apocalypse? Throughout history, every civilization has considered its own end. In fact, the term apocalypse translates into a veil lifted, disclosing something hidden from mankind. The key to decoding the prophecy lies here, in the book of Revelation, the last book of the New Testament. Revelation was written by a prophet named John of Patmos in about 100 AD. Of all the books in the Bible, it is the most mysterious and controversial.
The book of Revelation is meant to paint a picture of the total devastation of the earth in preparation for the day of judgment, God's master plan for the end of the world. And the book of Revelation describes this master plan as being written on a scroll that's sealed with 7 seals.
As each seal on the scroll is broken, there is a new disaster. A new sign that the end of the world is near. For 2,000 years, these prophecies have evoked fear.
Since Christ's death and resurrection, there have been all these false messiahs who've said that the end has come. However, every person knows, whether they're an atheist or a Scientologist or a Hindu or a Christian or a Catholic or a Jew, every person knows that we are on the verge of apocalypse.
Could the biblical prophecy of the 7 signs, written nearly 2,000 years ago, now be coming true? Astonishingly, modern science seems to confirm these unfolding signs.
Scientists agree that the world will end. And scientists agree that many of the features of the end of the world may resemble phenomenon, catastrophes that are described in Revelation. What they disagree about is whether this is the will of God, as prophesied in Revelation, or whether it's just an accident of the natural world.
To those who believe in the book of Revelation, the warning signs that mark the beginning of the prophecy are clear. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Biblical scholars have decoded their symbolism.
A rider on a white horse, on a red horse, on a black horse, and on an ashen horse, all bringing horrible things.
If the prophecy has begun, then the terrors these 4 horsemen bring have already arrived. The 4th horseman, the pale horse, symbolizes plague.
And when he had opened the 4th seal, I beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death.
The 4th horseman of the apocalypse is a scary prophecy.
The pale horse represents global plague.
He's the horseman of death. Huge percentages of the population will die.
Even in our modern era, we've seen unimaginable human suffering. Every year, over 1 million people die from malaria alone. The threat of global pandemics strikes fear even among scientific specialists.
I'm extremely concerned. Number one, I'm on the front line. I have a family. I have children who are basically being set up for these illnesses. It's always too late after the fact, and we need to put more work and efforts into trying to find vaccines, trying to find preventative measures for these illnesses before they happen.
As we'll see, plagues are only the beginning. The third horseman adds another dimension of human destruction, the Black Horse.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
The black horse represents death and famine.
Increasing use of crops to make biofuels in recent years has helped trigger shocking food shortages. Some fear it's just the beginning.
There's not enough food for the world, and people begin dying in massive numbers.
There will be tremendous food shortages. We see mass starvation.
A top disaster response expert provides insight into this global human tragedy.
There will be chaos. There will definitely be chaos. Rules will not exist, because what happens, unfortunately, is truly that survival mode kicks in. You've got yourself and you've got your family. And that person next to you, unfortunately, is just a person next to you. So if you need bread, you're going to get that bread.
The second horseman brings even greater catastrophe.
And there went out a horse from him that was red. And power was given to him that they should kill one another.
The red horse represents massive war and conflict on planet Earth.
The evidence of this sign already surrounds us. War, genocide, terrorism. Incredible human suffering unfolding all over the globe. But where is it all leading? Both secular and religious experts agree that the possibility for human annihilation is real. Jerry Jenkins, co-author of the Left Behind novels, explains his beliefs.
It seems like with the natural disasters getting worse and worse, and wars and rumors of wars and nations rising against nation happening more frequently and more globally, it seems like we're heading towards something, and it seems like we're heading towards something cataclysmic.
The evidence for the fourth, third, and second horsemen already surrounds us. But of all the horsemen, the first evokes the most terror.
And I beheld a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Next to Satan, the first horseman is the most evil figure in the Bible, the Antichrist. There are several historical misconceptions about this horrific figure.
People naturally assume the Antichrist. They think of horror movies in 666 and some guy with flaming eyes who looks demon-possessed. He's not going to be screaming in stadiums with a swastika. People are not going to be saying Sig Heil.
He'll come preaching peace. It'll be a time similar to today where we have all kinds of war and discord. This will be a person who will be so persuasive and such a lover of peace that people will be drawn to him and say, let's let him lead us instead of all these politicians.
The book of Revelation foretells that the Antichrist ultimately turns to the dark side. He will play a central role in the final sign, the climactic war that ends the world, Armageddon. The key to unlocking the rest of the prophecy is the number 7.
The author of Revelation, like all of the first Christians, was actually born and raised and educated as a Jew. What is the sacred number of the Hebrew Bible? It is the number 7, which is the number of days it takes God to make the world.
Later, there was a famine that was coming that would last for 7 years. But first, God would give the nation of Egypt 7 years of bounty. All throughout the Bible, you see this theme reoccurring again and again. And where it comes to full completion is in the book of Revelation.
You have a series of successive judgments growing in intensity. You have 7 seals, and then you have 7 trumpets, and you have 7 bowls. And they flow in a continuing order, but there's a crescendo.
It's a crescendo that has only begun. The next sign is a global annihilation sent from heaven itself. The 7 signs foretell far more than 7 disasters befalling mankind. The intricate prophecy describes 7 disasters within 7 signs within 7 more signs. This particular global nightmare would truly come from the heavens.
And the stars of heaven fell to the earth, and the heaven departed, and the kings of the earth hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains.
Objects falling from heaven are mentioned more than once in Revelation.
In the book of Revelation, John is seeing what appears to be, in a vision, all these stars falling from heaven. It could very well be a massive meteor shower or massive meteor impact or massive asteroid impact on planet Earth.
John's vision is rooted in the real history of comets and meteors striking our planet.
Throughout history, phenomena in the sky, especially comets and meteors, have been deeply unsettling to human beings.
During biblical times, only one power could cause the stars to fall.
The most obvious explanation is that God is doing something to express his displeasure.
Biblical scholars have discovered a word that's mentioned several times, one that ties directly to the prophecies. It's a star that derives its name from a plant with an appropriately bitter taste. Wormwood.
When the 3rd angel blew his trumpet, a large star fell from the sky. The star was called Wormwood.
Could the wormwood prophecy be fulfilled by an asteroid heading towards Earth?
Wormwood is a scary prophecy because it does such damage, killing so many people and so much plant life and so much animal life. It's clearly something to be so huge it'll be trackable by modern technology.
What religion has interpreted as prophecy, scientists like Dr. Phil Plait now view as fact.
Far and away, the biggest danger from the sky would be an asteroid impact. Because if we wait long enough, it will happen. A big rock is going to hit the Earth. 100% guaranteed, rock solid, bet on it.
There are meteors out there. They do hit the Earth periodically. Meteors large enough to cause serious damage hit every century or so.
Can an asteroid hit the Earth and destroy everything? The signs already surround us.
A chunk of iron, probably about 50 yards across, slammed into the desert out there about 50,000 years ago. The amount of energy that was released, probably something like 20 megatons, which is 20 million tons of TNT exploding all at the same time.
One event defines the extreme. 65 million years ago, scientists believe an asteroid hit the Earth with an